What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms. As I've had it described to me, and from some of the stuff I've taken a look at, it seems like it's a hybrid somewhere in between an action RPG like Titan Quest or like Diablo, and then they've kind of like mixed that in with like a Souls-like flair. And so I'm guessing there's going to be lots of looting, lots of moving around, lots of blowing up the screen, things of that nature. The game does boast a very, very pretty art style for a lot of the backgrounds and whatnot, so I figured we'd give it a first impressions video here today and see exactly where the whole thing sits and whether or not it's a good early access for you to dive on into. I've been told that the developers are very responsive, and they've been basically doing daily patches on the early access to kind of address concerns and whatnot. So that would be another thing to keep in mind while I'm making little critiques and talking about stuff that I've noticed inside the game. Normally this wouldn't be something that I would call out right at the beginning of the game, but let's go ahead and take a look at the settings, because I think in the case of Alaloth, the settings are kind of egregiously lackluster. There's not a whole lot to fiddle with here. And so anyways, here's your general options. The general options do have some things that I like inside of here. The ability to disable rumble, the ability to disable screen shake. I appreciated that that was included, but really the area where I start being like, that's a little concerning, is if you take a look at the video options, really all that we've been given here is a gamma slider and VSync. While I appreciate the fact that the VSync has been included, it's very, very odd that the graphic settings don't open up to have, like, a lot more things inside of there. Anti-aliasing, you know what I mean? Anisotropy, like resolution settings, things of that nature. They just don't seem to be here. At first, I thought maybe I didn't pan on through because there is a slider over on the right side, but there's really only these two options inside the video settings, which is very, very strange for a PC title. I get the feeling that a lot of PC gamers like to tinker and like to fiddle with stuff. I would count myself among that. I like to fiddle with kind of texture options and smoothing options and things of that nature. But as of right now, they don't appear to exist. Since this is a first impressions video and I haven't loaded into the game yet, all I've really done is taken a look at this title here. We'll check again once we get inside the game. I'll make a little cut right there and see if maybe the options expand a little bit once we actually get inside the game proper. But for right now, that was a little bit eyebrow raising. Audio, fairly simple splitter, and then as far as the controls go, they've got keyboard and gamepad. I've opted to go in on gamepad here today. The game does have mouse and keyboard options, but like they're sort of limited. Like in-game, you can use the mouse and keyboard to play, but ultimately, as I understand it, there is no mouse control and whatnot inside of menus, and that's a bit of a deal breaker for me inside of like an RPG. Like, I like to be able to click and drag. I like to be able to interact with like various buttons and whatnot with my mouse while I'm going through like an RPG menu. And so for the purposes of this video, I decided just to plug in a USB controller. It does give you that recommendation at the beginning of the game that they recommend using a controller for the title, but you know, I'm not going to get into that too deeply. That's one of those things with PC games. I tend to expect that there will be like a well-developed set of mouse and keyboard controls, and like there will be UI accessibility with the mouse, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into my whole spiel, but definitely one of those things that I was like, you know what? I'm not going to navigate menus with the keyboard for the duration of an RPG. Let's just go with a controller. Let's dive on into a new game. Let's get it started, and let's hit this thing full force. So it looks like we've got an option. We can play the single-player campaign, or we can do a competitive campaign. Interesting. So I guess there is some kind of competitive campaign here. I'm going to go with the single-player campaign, just largely because, like, that's how I prefer to play games. We get to pick a race. We've got orcs, we've got humans, and we've got elves. I say we go with the greenskins. That's what I say. So apparently we suck against ice, but we're good against fire and poison. What do the humans get? They get like nothing, and then these guys get poison resistance minus, bleeding minus, but they get a flat damage reduction to magic. I suppose that makes sense. We can go with our fighting style. As of right now, it looks like we have pole arms. It looks like we have dual wielding. We've got sword and board, and we've got heavy weapons. I'm a big spear guy, and I so rarely get the opportunity to play a spearman or like a pikeman or like a halberdier in any kind of RPG that I think that's the option that I'm going to go for. Over here we have our legacy. So there's Nashtel, okay, Dara Azim, Raika, and it looks like Ogmahalis. Okay. So there are a lot of options here. I don't really know if this is going to have like a large-scale effect on our overall campaign. Like, there's a ton of these, but this one has a cool Viking helmet on it. And so I'm going to go with that one. And then our alignment can be good, neutral, or evil. think I'm probably just going to go, like, neutral. I tend to be a kind of lawful neutral guy when it comes to kind of tabletop RPGs and whatnot. It looks like we get to pick our deity. There's Marika, who is the Orc's Blade. We have the Allfather. Okay, so we get more health, more stamina, and more bleed probability. It looks like we get the Hawk, critical probability and skill cooldown. We've got map speed and water, maximum carrying weight. It looks like we have more health and physical damage reduction. We've got golden luck. Okay, I'll probably go with the Allfather, I guess. It seems like he gives us the largest docket of thingies, so I'll go for that. My Orc is looking pretty good right now. Let's see if we can get him fitted up with a hairstyle here that I feel like is acceptable. Yeah, that looks good right there. I'll take that. Can we change the hair color at all? I'm fine with the head. Like, I don't mind that. It looks like we can be a little bit older or, like, a little bit younger. All right, we can also get, like, a varying assortment of scars, get a little scuffed up. Any good? Yeah, big beard right there. Let's go. How many, like... There we go. That looks good to me. That's definitely like a strong orcish green skin right there. That looks like a character that I can get behind. Let's go ahead and confirm it. And we've got to enter our character's name. Can I do that on the keyboard? Is that an option? I can do that on the keyboard. Very, very nice. We'll just go with Splat of Clan Ogmalus, I guess. Looks good to me. All right. Let's go ahead and kick it on into gear here.
The other kingdoms simply refer to that kingdom as the Orc homeland. That's because the name of the kingdom keeps shifting based on the actions of what is perceived as their greatest heroes or tyrants. So it tends to shift every generation like the shifting sands of the kingdom itself. The desolation of Baga was formerly known as the Gates of Ardor when the tempest swept the land. A great hero by the name of Baga sought to enter the Valley of Storms to defeat Alaloth and claim it for his own. Whatever his intention, the region around the breach became tainted, and a second storm swept out from the breach, blanketing the land and killing the vegetation. It is rumored that Baga himself never reached the Promised Valley, but was cast back into his homeland and was swallowed by the splintering earth.
Okay. Look who decided to show up for practice. I guess that soft bed and all those warm meals are taking their toll on you. Fear you'll lose your touch? Hey. Shall we begin? Exercise those muscles. Go over the basics so that the next time you face an opponent, you won't forget your training. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I had to make a little edit. For whatever reason, I was frame capped at 30 frames per second. It appears as though, like, you can toggle the VSync, though, and it'll fix up the frame rate, which is odd, because when the VSync is off, it locks to 30, but when the VSync is on, it locks to 60. Little bit confusing right there. Not quite sure that I've ever seen. So I've seen VSync reduce the frame rate from, like, 1900 frames to like 60 just to get it into sync with the refresh rate of the monitor, but I'm not quite sure I've ever seen a game where the frame rate goes up when you turn on the VSync. Either way, odd, very, very strange. There was also, like, they really need to re-record that voiceover from that opening cinematic. It's clipping, like, really, really, really hard. Like, that mic is getting blown out. All right, so if there's multiple enemies coming at you, be sure not to focus on one for too long. Okay, so X is our strike right there. Okay. Not too bad. Good, but these light strikes can only do so much against a tougher opponent. Do a heavier strike and just remember they may be deadlier, but it'll leave you exposed and tired. Okay, so on Y, we've got a heavy attack right there. I mean, the attack animations look and feel pretty decent. I don't dislike them. I'm okay with it. It still wants me to heavy attack? All right, let's keep heavy attacking then. Each fight is unique, and it's up to you to decide how to engage the situation. As you look at your opponent, be sure to notice their poise as you attack. It only takes one vulnerability to bring the enemy down, and there's nothing more reinvigorating than seeing them stumble. All right, so attack enemies with depleted poise to get increased damage. Yeah, there's the depleted poise right there. Okay, fair enough. So when you take a hit, you can break someone's guard, and then it basically makes everything an automatic critical hit. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's easy to remember. Not too bad. The harder you hit, the more they stumble. Now, it's not all about the action. It's also about reaching your opponent or running away. How about you give me some laps and stretch out your legs? Okay. so I guess we'll just run around the map. I do like the run animation. That looks all right. Good. Remember, fighting's not only about the attack, but about defense. A quick dodge will make the difference between life and death. All right, sounds good. So I can basically dodge in and out of the way. Go ahead, take a swing at me there, champ. Yeah, you're not going to hit me. I'm going to give it to you back, though. Pole arm! Nope. Pole arm! Nope. Pole arm! I got a pokey stick, and I'm ready to use it. I'm dodging it, bro. Wait, is it not counting my dodges right now? Oh, it wants me to, like, perfect dodge. Gotcha. I just figured I'd get out of the way early. Like, just avoid the situation entirely. But it wants those perfect dodges. Dodging is all well and good, but that's not always an option for too long. You know where I'm going with this. Raise your arms and prepare to shield yourself. Okay. I don't think that I'm too much in the market for blocking with a polearm, but... Okay. I do definitely still take damage through the block, but it looks like if you time it properly, it negates the attack entirely. Yeah, it looks like the parry basically feeds you up like a free stun right there. Yeah, okay. So I can see where they're going with this. It seems fairly obvious. Oh, does it just want me to default block? It wants me to default block. Don't expect to hide behind that forever. They'll wear you down. You gotta wait for the perfect moment. Okay, I'm ready for it this time. We'll just perfect parry everything up. There we go. The parry window does seem to be fairly generous, although once the battlefield gets a little bit more busy, I think there's a good chance that it might be a little bit more difficult to pull off. All right, so let's see here. Trust in your instincts, but be careful. Enemies won't hold back if you fail your timing. Strike me so that you can feel your attack slip away as I block it. Remember, when you lose footing, it's better to dodge to regain. Okay. Your arms are not the only weapon in your arsenal. A good kick can leave a blocking person defenseless for a while. Okay, so you got a right shoulder button right there, and we can kick down the shield. Looks good. All right, those knives you have, while unlikely to cause any damage to an armored opponent, will get their attention, maybe even separate them from a group. Give it a shot. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can huck a knife at somebody. There you go. Yes, catch my sharp, pointed object. A good warrior knows how to take a beating when they need to. Put your arms aside and let yourself be hit, and then strike fast against the opponent. Okay. So recover HP by attacking the enemy? What do you mean? Oh, I see what they want. So, like, you can't, like, do it directly after the hit. But if there's a pause, you can hit afterwards and get your health back. Don't forget your flask. If the enemy knocks the wind out of you, I trust that you know what you're doing, but in the heat of battle, we tend to lose sight of our own health. Okay, cool, man. Something bad's gonna happen now, right? Like, something bad's always gotta happen at the beginning of every RPG. Like, it's a normal day, we're training, then somebody's gonna walk up holding our grandfather's severed head. Like, I know my RPG tropes, there's gonna be fire on the horizon or something. That's as much as we can do today. I fear that you'll see combat sooner rather than later, but at least you won't be forgetting the basics. It's about time you woke up. I thought I had to bring the bucket again. A letter arrived. Bloody flying rat got dirt all over, but I cleaned it. It's from the Grand Matriarch herself. It must be serious if she disturbs the rest of her finest warrior. Her reverence commands your appearance before the order at the earliest. More than that, it didn't say. I suspect it concerns the recent rumors of warriors being recruited across the land. Perhaps he's looking for a champion? Ah, so Alaloth needs to die. I sure hope so. I know many do too. We cannot fault the Grand Matriarch for her choice, as she chose a fine example of our kind to lead the charge. Go now, show the world what it means to be a battle-hardened orc. Wait, am I like the king of the orcs right now, dude? Am I like the Orcan Lord? That's different from the Orcan Man. Those are two different services. Child of desolation, you carry the shame of Baga in your veins. You know true pain, and that is why you will succeed where others failed. You will restore the glory that once was, that was taken from us. We cannot surrender to the corruption that plagues us. We cannot forget what came before. Ever since Baga tried to breach the Valley of Storms, the lives of all orcs have been hell, and I won't stand for it any longer. The demon Alaloth sits in his prison in our fifth kingdom and laughs as he corrupts the land and our children. The mothers pondered our actions for generations past, and they now come to a conclusion. If Alaloth is not destroyed soon, he will bring all of the Plamen under our desolation. Words mean little when the corruption spreads, and without Marika by our side like in the ancient times, we are completely alone against the threat of Alaloth. Still there's hope, for the Mother found a way to cleave through the Valley of Storms and reach his prison. When the Light Goddess fell, she was torn apart into 4 artifacts and was okay, cool. Let's just get to the gameplay. Alright, there we go. We're outside, like, the city walls and stuff. Now we can, like, wander around and see if we can find good things to do. The Light of Weismil. It was typical fantasy fare. They were like, yada, 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 great evil, go out, take care of it, our clan is ashamed, all that kind of stuff. As you travel around cities, you may find other champions. Each of them is distinguished by an icon of their lineage. Since they have not been invested with the mission of defeating Alaloth, they won't be hostile towards you, and indeed, they will tell you of themselves. Okay. They call you champion, a respectable title. I hope that you live up to it. I am Carrig, formerly of Baelgrin. Although I'm sure I'll be hunted for saying that in their presence. Apologies, I didn't mean to sulk. I am grateful for still having a head on my shoulders. Huh, okay. Well, the game's purty, I'll give it that. It's quite a looker. It's not an ugly game by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it's definitely got kind of that old Baldur's Gate flair. Like, as you're walking around town, it's got kind of like that old pre-rendered art thing going on in the background. So it is an attractive game to look at visually. So what I've learned from running around is that the kingdom got problems. There's like blood spiders, there's skeletons running around, there's bandits rampaging. This does not seem like a very, very pleasant place to live. The good news is I've picked up a couple of quests while I was out and about town. One guy wanted some finger vines so that he can lacquer his ship and leave. One guy wanted you to find proof of some kind of betrayal or something. And then there was a number of bounties on the board over here that just paid out cash. And so I picked up pretty much everything that I possibly could in the interest of streamlining and getting us to some gameplay, since that's what really matters. But what I will say is that the writing seems to be reasonably decent. I didn't pick up any kind of issues with spelling. There was no typos. It seemed like the prose was okay. While typical stereotypical fantasy fare, there was nothing there that was done poorly with the writing. Like, it's a story you've heard a million times before, but it's told well. This appears to be the world map. And it looks like we can move around. We can zoom in and we can zoom out with the right stick. Okay. Let's go ahead and, like, it wanted me to kill some spiders or something, so let's go fight some spiders. You find the crimson spider buried in the sand waiting for its next victim. From above, you jump at the clueless spider with your weapon drawn. The spiders lunge at you from every side, feeling starved enough to hunt down a human that stumbled into their hunt. I'm an orc, though. I'm not a human, I'm an orc. I got tuskies, bro. I got big old tuskies. All right, let's go see what we could do here. Apparently, I've got consumables and stuff, too. I'm gonna throw a knife at him. Eat knife, bro. Okay, yeah, that hurt. That was definitely stingy. Let's go ahead and stay away from the spider. I'm gonna kind of like, I've got a polearm, so I might as well fight like I have a polearm. Just kind of little jabs and pokes, you know what I mean? Although my stamina is getting kind of bad. It looks like, is he dead? Oh, he didn't play any kind of death animation, so I wasn't, like, super sure. All right. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, let me see if I can perfect parry him. Ooh, with the perfect parry. Got my HP back right there. We'll just mash through. Oh, there is a death animation. Okay, he kind of like squats and falls over. At the end of the fighting area, there's always a prize. Clear the zone from enemies to access loot chests and gain your reward. I like money. That's good. So we got some money. It looks like we've got, like, wait, that's my inventory right there? Okay. So basically, it said there was going to be a chest, but I thought we were going to wander around on the map and go open up a chest. Instead, the chest is kind of like the closing battle summary, I suppose. As far as our quests go, where am I at here? It wants me to kill more crimson spiders, so I guess I will go and do that. Sounds good. We'll farm out a few more of these guys. They didn't seem to be that temperamental of a fight. Like, they seem to be pretty manageable. So, there we go. He's down. He's down. Give him a little poke. Give him a little poke. And give him a little poke. Oh, I missed. Bad dexterity. Give him a little poke. Woo! Okay. All right. All right. Zipping out of the way. I'll probably go like over here. Combat actually feels pretty decent in all honesty. I had my doubts when there was like no mouse control or whatever, but honestly the controller controls feel alright. Obviously it's not my favorite input method, but it does feel okay. There we go. Let me get another hit on you. I get the feeling that the pole arm is going to all be about like hitting and running basically. Ooh, there was a big smacker right there. Okay, let's go for the combo. Perfect. The spiders are down. All right, so the Crimson Spider Horde has been vanquished. What else do we have in our quest log? It looks like we have kill desert Ratkins. We've got to patrol the area around Balak Mall from terrible desert Ratkins. Evil will sneak up on the unfortunate souls that were not fit for it. Okay, and I assume we already got our paycheck, right? So, like, what is a desert Ratkin? Also, where is that place they were talking about? Oh, those are desert Ratkins. Okay. Well, let us go and fight them. Sand! The sand fooled us! You will regret sneaking up on us, mortal. We will leave your bones to the vultures and feed on your flesh. Listen, Rat Man, I don't have time for skaven nonsense right now. I'm gonna get down on that booty. You better understand. It's about to get raw out here. Okay, these guys attack a little bit faster. These guys have a little bit faster of an attack cycle. I should probably lock on to something. Ow. Ow, okay. All right, don't get too aggressive. Learn that lesson the hard way. That guy's got a shield, so I'm probably going to have to kick his thing out of the way. There we go. Perfect. All right, now you. Perfect. Down he goes. I was actually kind of hoping, like, that there... Oh, cool, there's a sword right there. The Brass Knuckler. I mean, it's a cool-looking sword. It definitely has, like, Warhammer 40k vibes. I'll take the money, and obviously we'll take the Brass Knuckler as well. And then I don't think we really need too much else. Was that enough for our quest to actually trigger? Like, is it done? No, there's a few more of them we got to take care of. Okay, it doesn't seem like the fight... Oh, it does, actually. What do we have here? A mercenary sent by the pompous bastards to kill us? Are you the best they could do? A weak little champion that couldn't kill a flood? Dude, there's a lot of bad guys on the road out here. There's like a serious volume of bad guys. This kingdom is having issues with law enforcement. Oh, wow. Ow, dude, I got lasered. Okay. Yeah, I kind of hate what's happening here, but I got to get that wizard. That wizard's got to go first. Oh, no, dude, I'm locked on. Hold on. All right, I don't want to be locked on anymore. I got to get that wizard isolated, though. I'm going to come over to here, and we're going to see if we can get these guys kind of, like, away from their homies, basically. I was going to say, because that wizard is hitting for, like, big chip damage, like, concerning chip damage. Now we got to pick off the archer, and this is not exactly the heroic posture that I wanted to take, like, bravely running away like Sir Robin, but... unfortunately, it is what happened. I would like to get this archer right here, if I can. There we go. Oh, 258 to the back. Ow! Okay, yeah, let me get a potion in me then. Let me potion it up. Get a little stab off on you. These guys are a little bit tougher than our previous threats. There's a big hit right there. Very nice. I mean, the game does have, like, a nice flow to the combat. It feels okay. Like, I was really expecting with all the issues. Wow, those guys are chunking me, dude. Why am I dodging in a weird direction? Run up on me, bro. Come get stuck with the pole arm, my man. Okay, yeah. Ooh, and you're dead. Get you with a big old chonky hit right there. Another big chonky hit. That's it. I got chonky hits for everybody. All right, so we've got 36 gold right there, and we found a Bardish. I don't know if that's better than what I have, but it might be. No, I don't want to drop my potion. I need my potions. I'm actually getting chewed on pretty good right now. I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to go back to town. I don't know if that's like a wise decision. Oh, there's also like a mode where you can look around. Okay. Dumping lots of tutorial information on me. That's okay, though, because there is a lot to process here. Like, there is quite an open world in front of us. I'm assuming that the skulls are kind of like, ooh, I like that kind of effervescent, like, minty fresh 5 gum effect they've got on that city right there. Let all who enter have the mintiest of breath. Okay, so we got to kill a few more ratlings. So with our inventory slots here, we have the Gift of the Allfather. Apparently it's broken, strangely enough. We do have a cloak, and we do have armor, and apparently its durability is not broken yet. We can get a mount, too, so apparently there's horses and stuff that we're going to run into later on in the game. Interesting. So, like, the family halberd is worse than the bardish, so we're going to go ahead and put the bardish on. I mean, that is tempting right there, just because, like, it's full of magic. But, like, let's maybe wait a second until we go, like, full in on magic. I am going to heal myself in between fights here. And, like, if I wanted to put this on, like, a pocket slot, there we go. I could put it on a pocket slot like so. I guess you got to select it over there on the left. Definitely would like to see this menu retooled for interactivity for PC gamers, where you can click and drag, and, like, they could actually take the size down of the icons considerably. Like, this is very obviously a game that's been designed with the UI facing towards, like, console players. They wouldn't have to redo the entire thing. I would actually settle just for, like, click and drag and just basic interactivity in the menus. I did play around with it during one of the cuts, and indeed, there is no mouse control in the menu. Like, you have to control it all basically with WASD while moving in between the menus. And so, you know, I just wanted to verify real quick. I don't like to operate entirely on conjecture. I need to go kill some of these ratlings. Let's go get these guys down here. Oh, they despawned. Oh, no. That's a bummer. All right. Well, I guess I'll go back into town. Dude, it is, like, swamped with bad guys out here. There are so many bad guys. It's okay, though. We're back inside the safety of a town. They're just, like, cool with me wandering around with, like, a giant headsman's axe. Let's go see what the shops have, actually. Maybe we can upgrade some gear or something, or, like, get some fun stuff. I would like to pick up some more health potions. What do you guys have going on for health potions here? It looks like mostly just bread. It gives me some regen. 160 health. It's not much. That'll give me 80. So I'm guessing maybe health potions are actually kind of rare in this game. That, or they restock or something when we rest, possibly? I don't know. Well, I wandered around town. I'm in the tavern right now, and I don't see anybody that's selling potions at the moment. There is a magic vendor that I haven't been to, but I did get to take a sleep and verify that it's not like an Estus flask. Ooh, I like the day and the night cycle, though. That lighting effect looks really... Oh, there's different people out here during the nighttime, too. Interesting. There was an orc that had a curse on him, and he wants me to figure out, like, how to get rid of said curse. Oh, the vendors close down at night. Interesting. Well, not a whole lot going around as far as quests are concerned. I think it wants me to focus on the ones that I have. Like, there's like 4 or 5 quests that we've already picked up on the day-night cycle. And so, let me kind of go through those, and let's see what a dungeon looks like in this game, like an actual proper dungeon. Let's go, like, acquire some finger vines. It looks like we have to go over here to Do Alran for a quest. And it looks like everything is pretty clearly marked with, like, where you need to go in order to do certain activities. Like, it puts, like, a little diamond on it, which is definitely appreciated. Well, I'm guessing this is where we have to go. We've got to go to, like, Do Alran. That's the only place that looks like it has, like, a little icon on it. But then again, the skeletons and whatnot have icons on them, too. So I think it's actually flagging all of the quests I have in white, which made me think that the quest for the finger vines would be in yellow, but I can't seem to locate it anywhere on the map. Well, in any case, let's go get after these skeletons down here. We gotta kill them anyways for, like, a bounty. And so, like, let's wipe these guys out and get our paycheck real fast, and maybe we'll pick up some sweet-ass loot along the way, too. The arena appears to be the same arena each time, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping it would be, like, differentiating arenas. It probably is if you go to different maps, but what are you guys gonna do? You guys are gonna try and do something bad to me, huh? Oh, I just got clunked. Okay. I hated every moment of my clunking. Ooh. There we go. I don't know if that actually counted. There we go. Break his guard, get a little bit of damage off. We got the skeleton. I'm going to try to dodge out, though. Oh, he's got his block up right now. Okay, let's get out of this corner. This corner seems sketchy. There we go. Knock that skeleton out right there. That one's down. Very nice. 47 gold as a reward. Dude, I think that hit and run is still like, you just thrust with the spear and jump back, and it seems to take care of you. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay, it queued up my action right there. I didn't expect it to queue up my action. There's a nice little parry. We'll get him for some damage and get some extra money out of it, and the fight is over. We got ourselves gold and a rusty shield. Sweet, dude. I'll take it. I'll take it. I think I need to kill some more Skeletors, but first let me, like, eat some food, because, like, I bought food while we were in town so that I could get my health back whenever I took, like, gnarly damage. There we go. Let me get, like, a little bit of health back. We got a couple more of these little rat guys down here. Let's see if we can go get them, too, for the quest. And then we got to go to Do Alran in just a second, because there was an orc in town that had a curse put on him, and he wants us to, like, get rid of the curse. Okay, yeah, you get punished pretty hard in this game if you get dodged or parried. Oh, they've got like a little horned rat, like, wizard over here, dude. Ow, dude. I just got busted up so bad. Am I still bleeding? Oh, the bleed lasts for a little while, huh? Okay. Good to know. Go ahead and give him one of those. No cleave on our attacks, unfortunately. Wish that there was, but there ain't. Ow, he got me with that one, huh? All right, fair enough. Dropped another one. Give him the big swing. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to fight you anyways, bro. Fighting is stupid. There we go. Let me get that parry out. Ah, he blocked me again. There we go. The parry is really easy to put off. I'll be honest with you. The parry window is pretty decent. I do think they need to tighten up the hit detection a little bit. I've had a couple of swings now that feel like they went through the enemy instead of striking them. It might just be a perspective issue as spawned by the isometry of the game. It's kind of hard to tell when the camera zooms so far out and I can't, like, distinctly see the weapon passing through the enemy. Let's go to this place real fast. Sure, we'll enter. Why not? In desert sand on mountain high, the banished make their homes away from their oppressors. Some ran from Verkentis, accused unjustly of heresy, and others escaped from fear and mobs as religion of the Eterest fell apart. Human, elf, and orc live side by side, a community of refugees, always vigilant but never safe. They are the orphans of the mountains, the disgraced. Okay, are they cool with me being here? Like, are we chill, broham? I'll be honest with you, the heal from that food seems very, very lackluster. I'll be honest, like, considering the fact that we have, like, how much health do we have? 1,500? 160 is not very much. That's not a lot of healing. I mean, I'm gonna keep on healing. It looks like also, like, maybe the percentage number down in the bottom right doesn't, like, refresh until we go into the menu and come back out. Is that what happened right there? It is. Oh my goodness. Why doesn't that update all by its lonesome? That should definitely be updating in real time, in my opinion anyways. Who are you? Come to meddle in the gods' affairs, have you? You'll find it more difficult than you could possibly imagine if you were to do it on your own. Luckily for you, I might know a way to free your orcish friend from his troubles. A potion is only as good as its ingredients, and right now I need herbs in order to give the slave what he requires. Be a sweet child and bring me what I need. I need a root of dervish found in the darkest pits of Baga where the soul of shame awaits. The second lies in the hands of a traitor to its kind, an elf who plucked the sacred dandling undergramp for coin. Find him in John Madden. Okay, fair enough. So I guess we got to go to a place called the Well of Baga. Sorry, I'm cutting this video a little bit longer because I feel like we haven't even really touched the iceberg. Covering RPGs is always such a sketchy affair because a lot of them take so long to get rolling that, like, with a 35-minute format, it just never quite works to my satisfaction level. So the Well of Baga. there's the Well of Baga right there. Okay, so that's where we're going. So we got to go to the southwest a little bit. Fair enough. I really don't want to fight you guys. I'd really rather not. Skeletons I need for a quest, so I'm okay with squaring up with some skeletons. We can throw down on some Skeletors, but like I want to go out to that other area, like very, very badly. Looks like we got a couple of fighters over here. Go ahead and light him up real fast. Just basically thin out the field when and where I can. I don't know his attack animation, so I'm a little bit worried about engaging too aggressively. I do like that they give you a little bit of an outline when you're facing an enemy, and it does seem like it has sort of a vague lock-on effect. There we go. Just break his guard real fast, sweep the leg, metal scraps. Oh no, dude, I was facing the wrong way. Okay, we're gonna have to lock on for some of this, I think. There we go. Perfect. All right, you. Come on, let's go. You. Bring it. Let's do it. Oh, that's a parry right there. Okay, I'm going to dodge out of that because it seems like it's not going to end well for me. Perfect. Down they go. A little bit of extra cash, a little bit of spending money. Rusty Great Battle Axe. Okay. Oh, dude, there's more of you guys, huh? How do I? It seems like they move quicker than I do, which makes this a lot more complicated. All right, so we needed to go down here, the Well of Baga. That's it. I really like this world map. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, let's enter the Well of Baga. We came all the way down here, so, like, why not? The Well of Baga. So we've got a dervish root. Oh, that's the thing I needed for the quest. Nice, dude. Okay. Yeah, let's grab those. I've got the wrong quest tracked right now, though. There we go. Dervish roots. Are there enemies around here? Like, is this going to be like, are there like treasures and things for me to find as well? Or is this like purely a quest item acquisition spot? Looks like I can't pick up any more. I think it may, in fact, wait, what is this? Into the abyss I stare, but is it staring back at me? Something is happening strange at the bottom of the well. Okay. Well, fair enough. We've got Orgoth the Curse. The Spice Festival is in the month of Merrick. Why do I need the Spice Festival again? Oh, I gotta go to Najon Madden during the Spice Festival. Apparently it's Avahai right now. Do I have like a calendar? I've got this menu right here. I don't know exactly what it is. I have no clue what it is, but it appears as though things are happening, like, globally. And judging from what I saw in the codex, this is not the only continent either. It appears as though there are other continents as well, and if that's true, that makes the map quite large, in fact. I'll be honest with you, this game's a little bit of a stumper for me. Like, because there are definitely things that are rough and absolutely need to be fixed, like post-haste. But it's also a game where there's a lot of rough edges and things that need to be fixed that has a pretty solid foundation from where I'm looking right now. So I honestly don't know what to say about this one. In times like that, I find it to be easiest if we kind of like chillax for a minute and we kind of go through it incrementally and sort of like talk about, you know, this, that, or the other. We'll go through kind of each category and I'll try to arrange my thoughts. I think Alaloth may be one of the weirder RPGs that I've ever taken a look at. Like, there's a lot to unpack here, and I get the feeling that there's still solidly some mechanics that we haven't seen. Special abilities, companions, stuff like that I've heard the rumors of on the Steam forums. But taking a look at what we have seen, I think that the graphics look great and the animations are fine. Combat feels like it packs a wump. Like, there's definitely a rhythm and a timing to the combat that may not have been apparent in the video, but like when you're playing with a controller, you can definitely feel it. Like, there's a moment where you're supposed to dodge or where you're supposed to parry, and it's just generous enough that you can pull it off, but it's also tight enough that the execution matters. And so I think they've got that kind of in the sweet spot, and if you don't pick up on the flow of that, you're going to get thumped really, really, really hard. The backgrounds look great. I think like they're a breath of fresh air, and they look pretty good even when you place them next to the pre-rendered backgrounds of games like Pillars of Eternity or Tyranny, which is saying a lot because I think both of those games had much larger budgets than Alaloth. On the gameplay front, I feel like everything is mostly fine. We haven't gotten to abilities or anything yet, I repeat myself, but what we have seen so far all feels decent to good. The overworld map looks great. The dialogue isn't really anything to write home about narrative-wise or like lore-wise, like it's typical fantasy fare, but the good news is all of it seems to be spell-checked. I didn't see any text or typos in there, and it seems to be written competently with decent prose. Travel is less immersive than I would hope for. I'm guessing that was probably a function of budget too. I tend to prefer transition zones and actually walking around the land rather than just clicking points on a paper map and kind of bouncing in between them, but still, I think the addition of enemies and whatnot to that experience isn't the worst, and it works perfectly fine. I really think the main sticking point here for me personally is just the UI implementation. It's very, very console-y, and as a result, it feels pretty clunky on the PC because we have access to a much better precision kind of menu navigation tool, the mouse, at our disposal. I'm not going to bark too much on this point because the developers have already said that they are on it and they're working on it and they're going to try to get it all fixed up so that you can navigate menus and whatnot with the mouse and keyboard. But there was definitely some work to be done there prior to release to really tailor the interface and UI elements to the PC platform, and it was eyebrow-raising for me personally. Alas, that ship has sailed. The graphics options are another sticking point. The game has an extremely bare-bones set of both general options and also graphical options that I think could be expanded greatly to include kind of resolution, anti-aliasing, anisotropy, texture quality, details that we've all come to expect on the PC platform as well. While wandering around town, the only bug that I noticed was that NPCs were T-posing here and there, but it was very, very rare. I only saw like 1 or 2 NPCs doing it, but that's a polish issue that hopefully the early access will see to and get pounded out in the future. The other thing about the combat is that I noticed, I played around with it a little bit more, and like it seems like the game gives preference to whoever you have locked on, and so, to give you an example, if you're playing a game like X-Anima, when you swing your sword, it doesn't matter if the guy that you are targeting is in the way of the blade, or if a guy in between you is in the way of the blade, it will still deal damage to the unintended target because the damage-dealing part of the model is the blade and the velocity thereof. In this game, I'm not super sure it works that way. It seems like the game gives preferential treatment to like whatever you have targeted, and the blade may possibly pass through a guy that's like in front of him. I fiddled around with it, and it seemed like sometimes that was what was happening, and then other times it seemed like it was okay. And so it may just be me tripping over the anisotropy. That's a very, very perspective to present a real-time, actual action fighting game from, just because anisotropy does weird stuff to the human eye and, like, expectation. But I don't know. It felt kind of funny sometimes with regards to, like, actually hitting an enemy, but it wasn't anything that disrupted my overall enjoyment. It only happened, like, once or twice where I was like, huh, shouldn't the blade of my weapon, I think, went through the leg of that goblin that was next to the one that I was targeting. How come it didn't just damage him? You know what I mean? So I don't think that, like, cleaving is a thing that really happens. But yeah, like, take this entire video with a pretty solid grain of salt, since we've only seen the first 45 minutes to an hour with edits, and there's still gems, crafting, and a bunch of other mechanics yet to unpack that we haven't yet gotten to. Just take it with a grain of salt. Definitely read through some reviews, definitely get some second opinions. I wouldn't leave this whole one on me just because I get the feeling we haven't seen enough yet. Instead, hopefully this taste will help out with at least piquing your interest so that you'll research further. But for me personally, my first hour impressions is that, like, it's a game with some rough edges and some really, really bad UI choices that are unfortunate, but the general gameplay makes me feel like it has its heart in the right place, and I felt like the flow of the combat loop was fun and well implemented, and right in the beginning of the game, we've got a pretty solid variety of enemies, like 7 or 8 different type of enemies we ran into. So anyways, my closing thoughts about the game are, I think it's pretty fun. I am personally enjoying it, but I strongly dislike the console UI that you're kind of fighting with a lot of the time. And then I think the journal could be improved a little bit, and it definitely has some early access stuff like polish that need to be worked on. But, like, it's a bold little game that kind of reminds me of, like, a Piranha Bytes game. Like, with the stuff that's arranged against it, like, I thought I would not like it, but actually, by the end of this video, I'm enjoying it. And, like, honestly, I hope they get the UI fixed up and everything so that I can continue enjoying it. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were checking out Alaloth. Tomorrow, we'll be checking out something else. Thanks for hanging out with me and giving me the luxury of your time. Hopefully, I did a good job in justifying it. And I will catch you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. Bye, everybody.